Ladies and gentlemen, my name is Mr. Pillow, and it is my honor and pleasure to welcome you back to, once again, the Awesomenauts Rumble Doubles Tournament Qualifiers. For those of you who aren't in the know, this is a tournament where we have two qualifiers this weekend, and people are playing round-robin brackets to accumulate points, and those with enough points that they get by winning their matches will be proceeding on to our playoffs bracket next week. Which will be a double elimination tournament where the grand prize winner will be receiving $150 plus art commissions by Lucky Time. With that said, joining me today is the wonderful, everybody knows he is, he doesn't need an introduction, Edster.
Hey, it's good to be here. I am excited to cast for this. 2 versus 2 is an interesting format. And, you know, you get some very interesting drafts, some interesting games. You know, the gameplay is a little bit more paced out, but you get some very exciting moments, and I'm looking forward to seeing what this qualifier has in store for us today. Pillow, I think, you know, I don't think there's much we need to talk about. I think we should just get straight into the first game.
Indeed, it is Aggro Master Race versus Dave. Aggro Master Race is Luca Palanchal. Dave is Spade and Ubi. Edster, why don't you talk to us about these drafts? What are we looking at here?
Yeah, so we're looking at Aggro Master Race. They're going to have Team 1 for this first game. Dave, they're going to be on Team 2. The map is going to be Serona. Very interesting in a 2v2 situation. Aggro Master Race, they're going to start off with a Sentry ban. Dave are going to respond with a Vinny ban. Aggro Master Race is going to go ahead and ban the Penny. And then Blue Team Dave, they're going to ban out Leon. So we have Sentry, Vinny, Penny, and Leon banned before any of the picks. Aggro Master Race are then going to pick up Xenia as a first pick. Very, very strong in Serona, and especially in a 2 vs 2 format. Just overall, great note. Dave are then going to respond by picking up a Swiggins. Again, very strong note, nice initiate, gives you the ability to find kills almost anywhere. And if they have some nice damage off the back of that, then we'll definitely be seeing some ganky potential coming from Team Dave. Following this, Aggro Master Race, they're going to ban out Skuldir. Dave are going to ban the Frog, and then the last picks are going to be Coco for Aggro Master Race and Lone Star for Dave. So we're looking at Xenia Coco versus Swiggins and Lone Star. These are some interesting comps. The mobility is definitely on the side of Aggro Master Race, and that helps a lot in these 2v2 fights. You can run away, you can wait for your cooldowns to come back, you can really spread the fights over a nice long distance, so they definitely have that going for them. Throw on Xenia's invis, you can attack from anywhere really, but the big question is, if Team Dave are able to get kills using the lockdown with Swiggins, then the push that they have is immense. Really good tower damage from Swiggins and Lone Star, and just good clearing overall. So I think this is going to be a very, very close match. What do you think, Pillow?
Well, I think, and first of all, I forgot to say this, we are doing our bet system once again today. So if you type red or blue into the chat, you have until the end of the draft screen. If you guess correctly, you want to type which team you think is going to win, you'll be eligible for a giveaway after the match. So to reiterate that, type red or blue, the one that you think is going to win, and if you guess correctly, after the match, you get a giveaway. You have until our scene transitions to Awesomenauts and our draft talk is done to get your guesses in. That said, my thoughts are, I think Ksenia Serona is really underrated. There's kind of a group of Seronauts, the way there's rivet knots like Ted or Durple. People think of Seronauts as Penny, Benny, Frog, the ones that are really mobile. And Ksenia, I think it's just as solidly and firmly in that category, but I don't see anyone ever really mentioning her as a Seronaut. And it kind of perplexes me. I think she can run circles around. It can be extremely difficult to tie down. They will have the anchor to try and catch her, but even then, when you consider the fact that she can go stealth, that she can Vitro Girl, that she has a double jump, and considering the kind of bungee cord flexibility that the anchor dive seems to have nowadays, I think it will be very, very difficult to find some of these kills. When we consider a not like Lone Star, in order to land all of his damage on a Ksenia, it has to practically go right into her face. I think Ksenia can do a lot of work here, and considering the fact that she can basically insta-give with Coco is very spooky. On the flip side of things, if Swiggins can find that clean initiation, and it'll be a lot easier to find this on the Coco, a little bit bigger of a hitbox and a lot slower moving, then that's, especially late game, can just melt the enemy team. Late game, if he can find that nice clean initiation, he'll hardly even need the Lone Star to follow up if he builds properly. And when the Lone Star does follow up, you'll just see knots just erase out of existence on the red team. So definitely be one of those things that they'll have to play carefully around the Swiggins. But I think that if the teams are playing at the same skill level, then it would it's going to be Dave's team that wins, but Aggro Master Race only has to be a little bit better. Like, the skill floor for beating Dave's comp is not as high as it is for other comps, if that makes sense. I think I worded that correctly.
Yeah, I get what you're saying. Yeah, I'm also going to go on the train and say that Dave is going to win this game. Just based on, as you said, the late game potential of Swiggins being able to pretty much insta-kill someone by himself. I think that's going to be enough to push him over the edge. But we will see, because there is definite potential for Aggro Master Race to win this. I think the only thing we can really do is get into the game and find out.
All right, I'm going to give you guys 5 more seconds to go ahead and get those red and blue guesses in. Again, who you think is going to win. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And with that, would you like to give us a countdown? I'm at the 12-second mark, my friend.
When you said that, did that mean go on the game, or was that
no, that was the bet thing.
Okay, I need to rewind a bit then.
No.
Okay, I am back at 12 seconds. Do you want me to count
Go
down?
for it, my friend.
Okay, I will give us a countdown. We will go on go. 3, 2, 1, go.
All right, and we are off. On the red side, you have Luca Pal playing your Coco. You have Shaw playing your Kesnia. And on the blue side, you have Lone Star being played by Spade and Ubi playing his signature Swiggins. Ed, how do you think the first blood's going to go down, my friend?
I think the first blood might take a while. I think what might happen, I think it's all going to come off the back of the Swiggins going in. Whether that results in a kill for the Swiggins, or if it results in the Swiggins being nuked by a bunch of damage and dying. But we will have to see, as the Lone Star and Xenia getting quite low trading abilities. Again, Ubi doing well, landing quite a few hooks here. He's opted to not go for the anchor drop and instead go straight into that AoE hook. Quite a strange choice when you consider it's a 2v2, but he's definitely making it work at the moment. It's a nice bit of zoning and kind of forces the other team to not be able to group up. And we're seeing a little bit of early push coming from the Lone Star as a result of just pushing in a little bit.
I'll be honest, like, things like that anchor on Luca right there, if he had an anchor hook, would he not be able to set up a first blood if Spade came in and did that right there? I think he's actually missed out on some potential by doing this.
Possibly, but you know, we have to consider that there's also a lot of lane clearing involved in this, and if you can hook someone next to droids, then you know you're going to clear a lane for free as well, so there's a lot of things to consider. Ubi getting a nice bit of worm farm, and that's going to cement a nice little early game lead for Team Dave right now.
Indeed, and we're seeing they're constantly hitting all these folks, and we saw Coco get out dangerously low, and that's the one I said, you know, it's going to be a lot easier for them to focus and target. A little bit of an engagement coming out right there. Spade being careful. He knows that the guessing is invisible right there. Trying to see the sneaky worm kill in. It's not going to happen, and the Solar gets successes. They're going to get the droids pushed up on top. Nothing really happening right now. It's a very neutral match. We're seeing a piggy bank actually coming out on Ubi now into Flying Fish Compass. That is the cooldown reduction. That's going to have to wait because here comes the bull, and he's going to get pushed out. He's going to go under the worm. They're not aware. There's no worm kills that's going to happen. The anchor dive is going to be a miss on Shaw. He's half. He's going to go ahead and take the jump pad. Luco going to see if he can get some residual damage. He gets both he doesn't get the blaze, and almost does, but the lightning ball is going to push Ubi back to his jungle. We'll have to consume all his creeps so he can go back in lane.
Yeah, that lightning ball was surprisingly clutch. It actually cancelled Ubi's anchor as well. It was in the process of firing, so very nice timing on that. If that anchor had hit the Coco might have died there. But we're looking at an anchor in on the Xenia. Xenia is very low. The last AA not quite able to land from Ubi, and now a ball is going to miss. We're looking at Ubi's build. It's very, very interesting. Going for this cooldown, it's very, very suited to the 2 vs 2 format, where if you can just keep poking your opponents with damage at every possible opportunity, you can keep them low and then you can push. The Lone Star's job is to push, and at the moment, Ubi's playing for a poking build rather than a team fighting build, and it's very, very interesting to see the Swiggins up for this.
It really is. It's something that I've seen AoE before Anchor Hook a couple of times competitive. I've never seen cooldown before Anchor Hook, and then he's really making it work, showing that there is some more build variety to Swiggins than people suspect. Shaw's getting extremely low there. He's going to roll out and go ahead, and looks like he found some health. And they're really on the defense now, and it's given Ubi free control of the worm, which that is extremely significant. Ubi going to get lightning balled out, going to consume the health resources. Mid control falls back to Aggro Master Race. One of the things that when you control the worm and you clear both droids with it, that's actually extremely good if your teammates are coordinated on holding mid for you, because not only are you increasing your solar per minute by 30. You are decreasing the enemy's team's solar per minute by 30 and denying them XP. It is an immense snowballing tool, and if you let yourself have to play on the defense constantly on Sirona and are not able to take mid, a team that warm farms on you can pull so far ahead that there is almost no way you can come back unless you make an aggressive play and just get a kill or two. This might happen right now. The entirety of Dave going in on Shaw. He's at 1 HP. He's looking to see if he can sneak back across. He's in a very bad situation. He knows it, but the Aggro dive is going to be a whiff, and he's going to feature a girl to the left, take the jump at, and he is out. The whiff abilities here. Now Lugo is an extremely dangerous position. He's going to get some blaze on Ubi and get out. I cannot believe that we did not just see a first blood there, Edster. What exactly did Dave do wrong to lose that kill?
Well, it was interesting because Ksenia was just had enough health, and she played very calmly. She just waited out of the range of the other team, and that's something in 2 vs 2 you can do quite a lot. You know, there's only 2 people you have to juke away with. There are almost a 1 kill onto Shell there coming out from Ubi, but he managed to roll away at the last second. As I was saying, in 2 vs 2 format, you really can kind of space out carefully. You only have 2 people to juke rather than 3. That's a ball hitting onto Lone Star. Lone Star's very low, and now it's just Ubi alone. He manages to land the double anchor. Luco getting a little bit ballsy, maybe. No, he decides to turn around, pull the wave. And now we're seeing the map control go in the favor of Team Aggro Master Race, but, like, they don't really have the health to keep this advantage up. We're seeing 1 stage of regen on the Coco, kind of keeps her in lane a little bit, but they're just being kind of bombarded by this poke coming from the Swiggins with a cooldown build. And of course, anytime they go in for a brawl, the Lone Stars, they're right there with the double damage face smite now. And there's the double damage face smite. That's the first blood onto the Coco. Very well played from Spade there.
He just snuck in there and just assassinated her. That even wasn't really the result of a team fight. He just saw the jump pad. He knew that, or no, it wasn't even jump pad. She was just going directly left, and he just caught up and just smacked her down. And he already has both ranks of his dynamite damage, the Trinamite, and just, wow. He kind of raced her out of existence for the first blood. I don't think anybody realized that that was about to happen. I mean, it was like one of those standard things that was like so vanilla that it worked. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I get what you mean. I mean, it was kind of the result of just the red team being so low all the time. You know, it's a big problem. If you're not able to maintain full HP, you can't really pick a fight. But what can happen is the enemy team can pick a fight on you at almost any point. And Spade played that to his advantage and found the pickoff there. Spade now a little bit low, but he does have double regen, so if he just plays a little bit passive, he should be fine. Ksenia firing some scissors at Dave. Not Dave. Oh my, no, it is Dave, but it's Dave Spade. This is very confusing. But yeah.
Oh, he might get a kill right here. They're trying to hunt down Shaw, and he finds it right off the jump pad. Knows. I really like the patience that Ubi exhibited there. A lot of people would have gone ahead and fire off their abilities preemptively and given Shaw some juking potential there. Ubi was patient and knew that eventually Ksenia would run out of her remote height and run out of her jump and would just automatically have to fall. That's when it's easiest to hit your target. They run the most predictable trajectory, and that is how he absolutely nailed that anchor dive last time.
Yeah, I mean, if we take a look at the damage graphs at the moment, the blue team is, you know, storming ahead really. They're making it consistently ahead for the entire time. There's been a couple of variations, red team getting a little bit closer every now and then, but it's just nowhere near really, and it's the Lone Star that's contributing most of that damage towards the blue team's total damage output.
Indeed, and that if they keep on happening this, I think the damage Ksenia can put on later is a lot more than the other team, but I think Ubi especially is going to be the one that finds it easiest to contribute the highest percentage of this damage. And
this might be
going down here again. He's trying to find the kill, but she's a sneaky beaver right there. Goes and biz. Ubi not exactly sure where to toss this anchor dive at, and she's going to live to see another day as she clears up top. What are some of the things that Shaw and Luco can do to really help cement their control of mid and not get poked out of it?
They need to basically they need to do what Dave is doing to them at the moment. They need to just poke the enemy as much as possible. I mean, both the players on Dave are rocking double regen at the moment, so that's going to be quite difficult for them to do. But if they can just keep them low, keep it so that if they take one ability or take a few abilities, they are going to be in a position where they will die. If you just keep them from being at full HP all the time, then they're going to be less confident about kind of storming in, using their abilities as kind of wildly as they are right now. One thing that is worth noting is you mentioned how good Ksenia is on Sirona on this match. Ksenia is extremely good on Sirona, but on this match, two notes that she's against are very, very awkward for Ksenia to engage on. You've got a bull kind of stopping any, consistent damage output coming from the Lone Star. Although, that is going to be a kill on the Lone Star right there. I spoke way too soon right there. But, Ksenia going for it. Nice amount of AAs, but Ubi was able to get both of the creeps. He's now got a health pack. If the Coco's not careful, that might be a kill. But he didn't opt for going for the Coco. He went straight for the
Might
Ksenia.
actually pick it up here. He looks like he's about to go in, and wow, they're hanging out way too long against Wiggins right here. Plain and simple, they're not landing like the amount of damage that they need to, and still keep on. Their mentality is like it's 1v2. We can do this now. A big fight coming out. Ubi, they're both going to disengage now. Ubi's going back on the hunt. He's not ready to let this fight go over, and he finds Ksenia, takes him out, and that's going to be a chat. Our first double kill of the day. First person to say double in the chat will be receiving a piece of DLC. That was just, they played that really bad against Wiggins. They got so confident, even though they were both, Ubi was basically full HP, and they were both within one anchor dive of dying, and they both were like, hey, it's 1v2, let's just go take him out now, and like went into his face. Now Lugo's 1v2ing, and they're both full HP. Now she's trying to do what Ubi did, but unfortunately she's going to be going down, and she just basically gets the entirety of Dave. She completely collapsed on her. This
is a huge momentum swing for Team Dave right now. Before it was relatively even. Dave were definitely slightly ahead, but the fights could have gone any way. Right now, it's looking very, very much in Dave's favor. With this cooldown damage anchor build on the Swiggins, they're really able to brawl characters effectively. And talks about the lockdown being a big feature. It's really just the burst and keeping people low.
And we actually see Bovinian postcard. Actually, this is going to wait. Ubi's going to get lightning balled into the turret and then take last hit by Shaw. Nice clean pickup, and that is exactly what Aggro Master Race really needed right now in order to try and swing the momentum back in their favor. Spade is going to stay in the territory of the red team. Sees if he cannot buy the time. He probably should be able to do this relatively safe. If they're going to try and pick up Iron Force 2v1, they need to do it now. No, but doesn't look like they're really going to find their opportunity. And Spade's going in. He's trying to find the dynamite. He's not going to land it, but he's got Bovinian postcard. And one thing he's going to mention, that's a cooldown reduction on his dynamite for every auto attack tick he hits. And so he can constantly sling those out, especially if he properly tracks with this auto attack. That's just one of the big things that can really just, as we say, it's that constant poke, keeping the HP down. They're fishing out the abilities here. Anchor dive, lightning ball, nice, all misses. Dynamite going to clear into droids. Wow, look how constantly he's just swinging that anchor dive. Even if he misses, he doesn't care because he has it back so fast.
Yeah, definitely. This Swiggins is built it perfectly for the 2v2 situation. Because, the lockdown, as good as it is, it's on Sirona, you can't... People can still jump around the anchor, and when you're dealing with the mobile notes of Coco and Ksenia, it can still be quite hard to hit them.
He still doesn't have anchor hook, does he?
Yeah, he doesn't have it. He doesn't need it. He's just getting enough damage in at the moment. And we're looking at a nice spot where Ksenia's trying to do something. She's getting her damage output, but she's just taking too much damage in the process. She goes down, and now we're looking at Coco versus Swiggins. Here comes the anchor. The anchor whiffs, actually, and the Coco's going to live. Wow, that might have just saved them the game for a while. There's a potential for them to get a kill, maybe come back from this. But if Coco died then, I think that would have been GG right there and then.
It more than likely would have. They would have 100% taken back turn, and at that point, they would have snowballed so hard, they would have had a 2-level advantage, possibly 3. That there would have been so little they could do, but now she can actually defend. Coco's not terrible at defending against this comp. It's not the ideal defense situation, but it's better her defending than Ksenia is because she does have the lightning balls. That said, this turret is still going down. It's got a mere 3 bars left. If they want to preserve this turret, they're going to have to be making an offensive play right now, which Coco looks like she's coming in for the full swing. She's going to go in. Needs to land that lightning ball. There it is, and Ubi is going to be going down. Spade's just going to be hanging back a bit. He's going to go back into the red team's jungle, try and take their creeps with a big aerial dynamite, trying to see if he can get a teleport bait going. He is being very confident here. He knows he's 1v2. They know that he knows he's 1v2, and he's saying, hey, let's tango. They're going to get some knife folks to soften him up, but that's something that Transfusion Dynamite can't fix. And now he's ready to go ahead and try a bullpen, but it's going to be a miss. He's in a really bad situation now. He's going to be going down. The bull miss meant that the Coco could completely counter-initiate on him, melt down his health bar. And now their first real push for Aggro Master Race is coming out. Ubi trying to scare them off. And he's got a health pack. He's got his cooldown ready.
Are we going to see the Swiggins 1v2 again? Are we going to see it again? We might do. I mean, we're looking at both players from Team Aggro Master Race not at full HP. The Ksenia is 1 anchor away from dying. But, yeah, I mean, Again, most of the deaths this game have just been from people staying in lane when they're not in the when they don't have the health to do it. The last death we saw from the Lone Star, that was a bit different. That was just he took a fight 1 versus 2 when he really shouldn't have done. But you know, we're seeing Aggro Master Race, a bit of a comeback here. They are landing some abilities, getting some damage in, and they've got a little bit of push on that bottom tower. They've got some money to get some upgrades now. We're looking at double pills being bought on the Coco. It's going to help them a bit against this burst. You know, they do have the damage they need to get these kills, so it definitely isn't over. Like there isn't a situation where Aggro Master Race can't. You know, they're not at the point when they can no longer get kills, and it's basically just a matter of time. You know, they still can if they're able to cleverly bait their abilities now.
Indeed, and it looks like we get a big engagement coming out there, and then they're just going to fall back. They're going to get that poke. Ubi going ahead, and he's seeing if he can find the next one, but the lightning ball is going to push him back. Looks like that actually canceled the anchor dive once again. I didn't quite see if he was proccing it. Nope, he still has that ability, but he is going to see if he can recuperate some of his health as he waits to get going once again. And the droid, they're just going to be clearing droids, waiting for their opportunity. There's not much Shaw and Luco can do while they wait to try and curb some of the momentum that is just so strongly in favor of Spade right now. But Spade is going to go, Spade and Newbie are going to go in, look for the initiation. The Bull's going to keep Luco from escaping. The anchor dive is a miss. Now Luco is trying to just kite. They're in a very strong kiting game right now. That anchor dive miss meant that they're in an awkward position that allows Spade and Ubi to go ahead and start pushing. It's going to force the hand of Shaw and Luco to go ahead and fall back. There is the flank. We should see the team fight coming out now. Luco extremely low. He's going to manage to make it to the base. Spade not quite in time to cut him off. Now it's the Cassini on defense. Not much he can do. There's the anchor dive. There's the Bull. Shaw going in, trying to stop him down. Going to get hit by the dynamite. Very, very bad situation. Now the Coco's going in. There's the lightning ball. He needs to be extremely careful. We should see Cassini coming back as she consumes the creeps. They know it, that she's going to be there. There's the anchor dive just ready for him. And
Aggro Master Race really needs to find a kill here. They're getting pretty desperate. The base is taking damage, and honestly, the way the regen's going, it seems like every fight, even though they're fighting in the base, it seems like the blue team are leaving with more health than the red team each time. So they need to find something.
Ooh, and that's just unlucky. They need to find the relevant silence, because last time I saw Spade get silenced, he was going to be teleporting back because he is 1 bar. Yubi's going to set up this huge
Oh, this droid wave. But it looks like the kind of the push has died down. The Lone Star went back to spend, and the momentum has kind of stabilized a little bit. But
Shaw needs to find that relevant silence. Oh, they're trying to find them off the cliff, but both abilities are going to be whiffed. This is their chance. There's the lightning ball. There's the knife. Spade is so low. He's trying to get out there, trying to track him down. He's going to juke him on the jump pad, and he's going to run left. He's going to pick up a health pack, and now he can quickly get his dynamite back for the transfusion right here. He's going to go ahead and try and predict him coming around the lip. They know not to get into the dynamite there, but he still gets health around that. Anyways, now he's going to push Luco into Ubi, who body blocks Luco, but it's going to take a lightning ball to the face. He might be going down here. Shaw trying to track, and he finds the last hit, and now they are going to fall back. They are not healthy enough to really take on Spade here. They better not let themselves get dynamite. It's the same situation earlier where 1 dynamite will kill either of them despite it being 1v2. And they seem to have learned their mistake. Now Coco coming in with a flank, ready to take on and Spade, who's going to 1 HP. He's trying to do this. He can make the dynamite kill if he's just, it's going to be a wipe. That was so close. He came so close to clutching that. He was about to show us the magical wonders of Bovinian postcard.
Yeah, it was a shame he whiffed his dynamite. I think like where he really needs to hit the Trinomite. He was waiting for the droids to arrive from the red team, but he just did it slightly too early, so the AoE didn't clip the droids. If he'd done that, he would have gained about half his health back. Probably would have been fine. But Spade just throwing that in a little bit too early.
Dude, the names are throwing me off.
The names are so trippy. It's oh god.
That's probably why they made this team name, just to mess with the casters.
Yeah, definitely. We don't condone this kind of behavior.
Tomfoolery.
We're looking at Shell. Yeah, Shell's going to go down, and Kelko's in a bad spot. The anchor is going to whiff, but the Lone Star looking for it.
Oh, that was a nice dodge.
I think Spade can just sit in the base, and I don't think Luco can do anything. Like, I don't think the Coco can stop this push, even if she hits everything right now. Yeah, I think it's over. It's over.
Oh yeah, nothing. That's going to be your first game. It is going to be going in favor of Team Dave. All right, so we've already talked a little bit about this, but what should Lucopal and Shaw have done to have won this?
What they need to have done differently is they just needed to not get hit by all this damage. You know, it might seem a bit counterintuitive, but if they'd have just stuck by their tower a lot for the early game, because the times they did find kills were in the when Team Dave, they were pushing a tier 2 tower, Coco came from behind or above, and they got the ball, knocked someone into the tower, and then they hit them with a few scissors. That was the kill. If they'd have done that from like the get-go, just stay behind tower, wait for Dave and Ubi to push up, and then drop on them with a Coco ball, hit them with a few scissors. You know, it might have even been worth the Xenia going for an early knockback scissor build, so she could knock someone into the tower, because it was just so awkward for them to engage in a traditional way against the Swiggins as such a, with the kind of cooldown disruption build, and then we had Lone Star with Bull. Very, very hard for them to find a sort of standard fight, so they needed to really sort of cheese them out a lot in the early game, and if they'd just done that for a while, made sure they kept relatively even on solo, they could have found a double kill and then pushed up from where they were, but they were a little bit too aggressive in the early game. They just kept on getting poked down, and they were kind of just a little bit too indecisive against this poke. You know, if you're at half HP, what do? Do you stay in lane, or do you go back and get health? Do you go to your top health? No, the top health is gone because someone already took it 3 seconds ago, you know. They needed to decide what they were doing instead of just being indecisive in front of their tower and just playing straight into the game of straight into the hands of Team Dave.
Indeed, you pretty much just nailed it, and they kept on just fighting some of the worst fights they could. They got a little bit outdrafted here, and the way that they just couldn't. It's like they couldn't accept the times when they didn't have map control. They were like, they wanted to believe, yeah, we got the map control. No, you just don't. And it would lead to their deaths. Like there was that 1v2 that we had talked about where Ubi had just taken out both of them because they both went in at less health than the damage that one anchor dive dealt, and they both died. And it was like, well, that's what happens. Like, you don't get to be there right there when it takes you like 5 seconds to kill someone, and it takes them 1 click to kill you. Like, you've been forced out of that position. That's how Awesomenauts work.
They just didn't know what they were doing at that point. They hadn't quite decided if they were going to try and kill Spade, or if they were going to back off. Kill Ubi, or if they were going to back off. Because, you know, if they decided to back off, that's fine. If they decided to kill him, they probably could have done, and, you know, they could have got a lot of health. But they kind of just teetered back and forth on the border of both, and then, you know, they died for it. I think Team Dave had a really clear plan from the get-go of this, and that was to get the cooldown anchor, keep poking them. Lone Star's going to build for damage so he can nuke in team fights and keep the push up, and then we're both going to go regen and just poke them down and push. That was their plan, they stuck to it. Whereas, you know, I don't think Aggro Master Race, the plan they had, it just seems to be play Awesomenauts. Whereas, you know, this is a 2v2, you have to play this, the fights are different, you've got a plan, you've got to know what you're doing, and I think Dave were just a bit more prepared for this game.
Alright. Well, with nothing else to add, I'm going to go ahead and take us a break. We will be right back. We will be doing a number space giveaway in the chat. Do not go anywhere, my friends. Ladies and gentlemen, we are back. This is Awesomenauts Rumble Doubles Tournament. With me once again is the wonderful Edster. You still with her, but still with me there, buddy. Okay, I don't know the English language. Are you there?
Yeah, I'm here. I'm just letting you stumble over your words because it's funny.
Thanks, Gabe.
Yeah. I'm doing good. I'm looking forward to casting more games tonight because, it's doubles. It's a different tournament than we're used to, and casting anything is nice and fun.
You like casting anything? So if we had something else that we could cast, that would be pretty cool too, right?
Oh, Pillow, you are a wordsmith of many forms, but this is a genius intro into the next topic, which I hope you're going to mention now, because if it's not, then I've just interpreted your words wrong, and this will be insanely awkward. Go.
Well,
please,
with that said, what if we were to cast something called the Scrim Show?
Oh! He did it.
We didn't read it. I said something that didn't sound dumb. This is the first for me. So, if you guys weren't aware, the Scrim Show is a series where we take scrimmages from the competitive community. It's basically like tournament matches, except it's not in a tournament, with drafts and everything, and we cast them. We ran this series last year. By we, I mean me and not Rumble, because Rumble didn't come up till last September. But from March or April to July, and we're bringing it back. We don't know the exactly when yet, but it is in the works. It is being developed. It is being produced, and you can find out more information about it by going to our Steam group. We will post details there when we know it, and following us on Twitch so you can see when we go live and you know that we're streaming something cool. And speaking of streaming something cool, because I'm that much of a wordsmith, you know what I think would be pretty cool to stream, Ed?
Is it Edster's salmon cooking recipe? No, it's not.
No.
I'm disappointed.
No.
Oh, is it game 2 between Team Dave and Team Aggro Master Race?
How'd you know?
I'm just so good at guessing. Wow, this is probably really cringy, but whatever.
I mean, it is you casting, so yes.
Yeah, of course. Well, I think we should get into this draft. Mr. Pillow, do you have the draft on screen? Because I am about to go through.
I do.
Take us through.
Bring it out,
Okay,
boy.
so looking at this draft, this is the second game. This is going to be on Agion. We're looking at Team Dave having Team 1, Team Aggro Master Race being Team 2. Team Dave with the first ban, they're going to ban at Sentry. Aggro Master Race, they're going to respond with a Xenia ban. They're going to ban Frog. Aggro Master Race are going to ban the Penny. Looking at the first picks for each team, we're looking at Leon being picked up by Dave and Genji being picked up by Aggro Master Race. Following this, Dave are going to ban out Swiggins. Aggro Master Race, they're going to ban out Lone Star. And then the final picks, we're going to be looking at Vinny for Team Dave and Clunk for Team Aggro Master Race. Now, these comps are something you don't get to see every day. You're looking at a very, very gank-heavy comp with Leon Vinny, and then you're looking at Genji Clunk, which is one of the classic combos when it comes to Awesomenauts. You get the Cocoon, and it's a free setup for Explode. It's that simple. And as well, it's just insane tankiness. So it's going to be interesting. It's a nice counter to the gank build that we're looking at from Dave. Dave's build, obviously, very good. You tongue someone in, you dash them, you throw in the silence from this tongue and from the dive, potentially, or you just go max damage on a dive for just that extra ganking potential. And, you have a lot of potential to find a kill, but finding a kill on a Clunk who's got a Monarch Blessing is going to be difficult. So they're mostly going to be looking for the Genji with these tongue pickoffs. It's going to come down to how much sustained damage Team Dave are going to be able to put out. If they can land a lot of AAs, then I think it's going to go their way. But if the fight ends up being very, very quick, not giving Team Dave enough time to put out more damage in their initial burst, I think Aggro Master Race with just the bang, really, of the explode and the bite is going to be enough to find kills. Leon and Vinny, not very tanky noughts. Yeah. I'm interested. What do you reckon, Pillow?
Well, Leon and Vinny is an easier combo, I think, to make happen. And they can get that Genji silence. Genji has one of the worst DPSs in the game. It's easy to land his auto attacks. His auto attack is typically considered good. But the fact of the matter is that even upgraded, he's going to be having a significantly lower damage output than the other guys. And while all the damage comes from Clunk, making their comp work mechanically, Genji is the bread and butter of it. If he can't get the Cocoon or Monarch Blessing off, I think, which is very likely, considering we can get silence from Leon, silence from Vinny, possibly ranged tongue silence from Leon. They can keep him silence long enough to easily just squash that bug out of the sky. and then just kite Clunk and beat him up until he's either forced out of lane or dead. That said, mostly true early game and pretty much definitely from mid-game onwards, as long as the Clunk is paying attention to Genji, every single cocoon will be a kill. I mean, every single one. There's, at most, if it's Leon that's cocooned, Benny could try and spike dive in to get a silence off of Clunk to try and buy Leon like half a second to escape. Leon can kind of do the same thing with trying to tongue the Clunk right before he procs explode, but it's a lot riskier. Like, I'm gonna put it this way: 99% chance cocoon means you're dead. So that said, Leon and both teams are gonna kind of work in a way where they actively hunt around the map looking for kills, is the way I see this. I want to quickly mention, by the way, because I did neglect to mention, some of you guys are already doing so in the chat. If you think that go ahead and type which team you think is going to win. The top team is red, the bottom team is blue. Guess correctly in order to be eligible for a giveaway after the match. You have until we transition to the match, transition from this draft screen to gameplay to get your guesses in. So, do you have any more thoughts, Ed?
Well, I mean, if I were a betting man, where would I put my money? I think I'm probably going to go with Aggro Master Race, just because I reckon when it gets to that side, as you said, the mid-late game, the cocoon is an almost guaranteed kill. But what they also have is the ability to just stick with their droid wave, pick a lane, and go push it. And there's not much Team Dave can do to stop them. I mean, they're just so tanky and so difficult to engage if they just stick next to each other and, you know, support each other in these fights. As if they spread out and go for lots of lane rotations, you know. As I said last time, Team Dave, like, they came with a better plan in the last time, and they stuck with it and executed it. If Aggro Master Race, if their plan for this time is to just stick together and play to Genji Clunk's strengths, I really think they're going to have this over Dave, you know. I think it's if they get a bit sloppy, they find themselves getting picked off, that the match might tip in the favor of Team Dave. But overall, I'm going to go with Aggro Master Race for this game.
One thing we might see on Vinny, I wonder, is this is Algalon anyway, so we see the potential of double stealth and as well as stealth Genji or Clunk, which is extremely dangerous. But what if he got Invis on Cloud? That is the upgrade that makes it so that any teammate that enters into his Cloud is invisible for 2 seconds until they use their next attack. The threat of an invisible spike dive and an invisible Leon tongue suddenly just silencing and bursting you, and then a couple of quick auto attacks will erase Genji and possibly quite hammer on Clunk. I think if they reach late games, and especially if they're having trouble trying to dent someone because of the Mark Blessing, I think that would be what lets them get in and just completely demolish Genji before he has the chance to react.
Yeah, I'm not so sure about Invis. I mean, in the 2v2, you're kind of going to know where your opponents are almost at all times just from, you know, map awareness. There's not that many places they can be, and you only have to track 2 people rather than 3. So I think getting the jump on people like that, I don't think it's going to be as easy. I think where you find the opportunities is going to be where you force people to rotate. You know, you clear a lane quickly on one lane, it forces them to rotate down, and maybe one of them stays up, and then you find the one that rotates down, or you find the one that stays up. You know, if you can separate, if Dave were able to separate Aggro Master Race, then I think we'll be finding kills there. I think the Vinny's Cloud build, he might even opt to weaken Cloud as a potential, you know, maybe even weaken CC immunity and speed up on Cloud as a kind of Zoidberg effect if he ever gets cocooned. You know, he throws down the Cloud and screams whoop, 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 as he tries to run away, hoping the burst isn't enough to kill him. You know,
I actually think you're right. I didn't even think about weaken Cloud, and that might be what's key here, because what is it, 30% damage reduction?
That's 25 or 30%. I can't remember off the top of it. I'm going to look at it.
I'm sure we'll see it quickly.
Yeah, we'll see it.
I completely forgot about that. That is a counter to Clunk, like straight up. Like you put that Clunk as a team fighting knot, like, and when you put their top is whole, like, hey, fight in this one specific spot. The Aggro Master Race is this, and when Vinny puts his Cloud in that one specific spot, they should be able to survive the explode. I didn't even think about that. My money's now on Dave. It was on Aggro Master Race until you said that.
Yeah, I'm still going to stick with against this Aggro Master Race. But without further ado, I think we should put our theories to the test. Right. Are you going to give people maybe a few more seconds just to wrap up the betting if anyone is still undecided on that?
Oakley dokley. 3, 2, 1. gameplay. And now, would you like to give us a countdown? I'm at the 12-second mark, my friend.
Right, I am also at the 12-second mark. We will press go when I say go. 3, 2, 1, go.
And we are off. On your Vinny is going to be Ubi. On your Leon is going to be on Spade. On the red side of things, Shaw is playing your Genji. And Lukopal playing your Clunk. And already we see some interesting abilities coming out. We see a picking the bag of goldfish on Vinny. Range Tongue, no cell come out on Spade. Why do you think that might be, my friend?
Well, Range Tongue, as we said, what Team Dave have to do is they have to find and pick up this Genji. The Clunk is going to be very, very difficult to kill. And as well, they can't commit too much to killing the Genji if the Genji sticks to the Clunk, because the Clunk is just going to counter with an explode. So giving that range gives them that little bit more time to kill the Genji. You know, they displace him further away from the Clunk. And, you know, in general, Range Tongue is just a very, very effective ability at displacement, finding pickoffs. Oh, we are seeing a Cocoon onto Spade. Here comes the explode. There's the bite. It lands, but it's not quite enough to kill Spade. They don't have the damage yet. Spade is going to get some creeps. He might be hunted down. He doesn't have invis to get away. There's a second Cocoon, but there's no explode yet. Luco's too low. Oh, what a crazy team fight. Okay, we're looking at the Leon and the Clunk, both getting away very, very minimal HP. And one thing that might be worth noting, just off the back of that fight, we might see Luco opt into cooldown and explode, because if he had that, that would have been killed. Luco being very low here.
I think he was afraid of not being first blooded, because Leon also had that threat of Range Tongue to make that a 1-for-1, or possibly even pull some shenanigans to quickly get out or kill him before he gets a chance to explode. And I think we actually saw what we saw in the last game where Luco hesitated, not sure what to do. He's going to get tongue to the tray. He gets a very clutch bite off the Mark Blessing, and it's not going to be enough. He gets exploded anyway, so they take it off on Spade. It's not going to be enough to make it a 1-for-1. First blood, minute 50 seconds in. Nice spike dive through the turret, but he's going to get cocooned in return. Now they are going to be pushing top lane. Charles collecting his creeps, being a little bit late to the defense. Not going so good so far for Aggro Master Race.
Yeah, definitely. We're seeing a little bit of a solo lead building already, about 50 or 60 solo, but it's interesting. Again, it could easily swing either way, because all Aggro Master Race really need to do is find a Cocoon and then get an explode kill. They almost did it on the Leon. The Leon is low enough that it would work at this point. But, you know, they get into the mid-late game and they're not losing so hard that they can start doing that. They're going to be in a great position. The Vinny picking up the Enders now, and we might see Team Dave try and make something of this. Genji's a little bit exposed, but he's going to go back to the Clunk. Yeah, they're just going to push here. The Tongue's going to miss. They've got free reign to just do a little bit of push. Well, you know, a little bit as in absolutely no push, but yeah. It looked like it was push, and that's what matters.
I still think I sometimes see that thing on Luco and Shao where they're not sure what they should do next, and Shao going to get initiated on. He's going to run away, pop out with his abilities, disengage. And Ubi and Spade always know that when they want to go in, and when they go in, they go in. The counter initiation explode is going to come out on Spade. That's going to hit, and now he's going to be less than half. They're going to push up the top lane. He's going to go hit all his health resources. Ubi is always right there next to Spade. Wherever Spade goes, Ubi is right behind him. They are ready for a team fight at any moment. That's one of the things I really like about their synergy. You know, Ubi's not going to be like, hey, you know, I'm going to quickly take half a bar off the top turret and then just flee right quick while you go in and do health resources. He doesn't play a, okay, we'll probably be alright sort of idea. He's like, okay, this is Awesomenauts, we use teamwork, we are together. We are never not together. And that's one of the reasons I think they're extremely successful. They're always coming in at the same time. There's going to be the explosion come out, and it's going to put Spade incredibly low. Now Ubi's in a bad spot. He's going to spike dive past Shaw and to get away, clear up the bottom lane. And he's wary of the cocoon that Shaw could potentially throw out on him. They're just going to trade Joy clear there. Nothing really of note. He's already picked up one stage of Chrome File. That's even more damage on a spike dive. While Leon's going to go back, pick up a stage of Silence, and pick up a stage of Cool, and pick up his clone ability.
Salvo pack.
That's extremely early. Why do you think he might be picking up Salvo pack?
Well, it's burst and it's not explode, and explode's kind of risky. Bite, you got it on a short cooldown, and you can definitely capitalize on it if you play it carefully. So it's interesting that we're seeing him go into that instead of explode, but we shall see. He's landing a few bites, and you know, if it works for him, fair play, because it's very cost-effective burst, and you can stack it on top of the explode damage. And if you look at Team Dave by pills later on, it might be enough to get the kills anyway.
Yeah, indeed. But they're gonna. I cast a match like this yesterday, where it was Clunk Scolder versus Cassinia and Na. And they kept building like that, going to safer less likely to die Clunk stuff, and put the explode damage off to late game. And I saw a lot of kills get missed because of that. And so I really hope they're not shooting themselves in the foot here when the bread and butter of Genji Clunk is that explodability. And Shell's going to get Spike Dive. He's going to get extremely low. He's going to fall back a little bit. Mar Blessing Pot. Now we have Lucopal. He's sitting on bottom. He's going to get out just in time as Fade and Ubi come in to see and demand that everyone leaves their mid lane right there. And now we see a little bit of footsie nuts coming out there. It looks like they're about to leave for the range stun, preferably on Genji, but Clunk will do. They will poke him down, get him some fight considered. That's going to be like 2/3 HP. Leon going to go ahead and take the stealth. It's going to be a missed cocoon. Ubi trying to decide if he wants to take the droids or if he wants to take the whatchamacallit, Genji, and he decided on the droids. How do you think the next frag is going to go down?
Maybe like this? No, the bite whiffs. That's a shame. That would have been a kill onto the Vinny if he had not whiffed the bite. I think it's either just going to be... I mean, it could happen either way. It could be a cocoon onto the Leon or the Vinny, really. Or, well, no, probably mostly the Leon. I think the Vinny can still dash away. There's no snare bite on the Clunk just yet. Or it's going to be a tongue into dive into a whole bunch of shenanigans with, you know, the clone doing damage, maybe a tower and a few droids doing damage as well. Looking at medical pump being picked up by the Clunk as well, great sustain option. One of the big problems they had last game was they just kept getting poked down, and when you're playing kind of immobile characters and dealing with these like notes that have a lot of burst accessible to them, that could be a problem. Shao in a bit of a bad spot, the tongue being body blocked by Luco, very well played there from the Clunk, protecting his Genji teammate. We're looking at the the Leon picking up the Embers. They might be able to get the Clunk here. He's just used his bite. He's not in a great position. There's the tongue. There's the dive. The Clunk's ready though. He's got the explode. The blessing has been used. Oh! Amazing cocoon. Here comes the AAs. Ubi's still not dead. He's still not dead. He manages to go down to the Clunk AA. And now Clunk very low, using that medical pump to stay alive. He's going to grab some creeps. Now we're looking at Genji and Clunk. 2 versus 1 against this Leon. They need to pick a lane and push it fast because they don't have much time until this Vinny gets back in.
And Spade's already they're committing the bomb. Spade's going to go ahead and send a push off in the opposite lane. And they didn't really get any much push off that. I feel like they could have just tanked the top turret a little bit. Spade wouldn't have done too much to capitalize on that. But now, yeah, they're not going to get any push off this. Vinny's already back in lane, and actually we saw a tiny fragment of Joy chip occur on the bottom lane. So, a little bit of a commitment issue there. And now, nice fight dive.
Oh, the tongue! Oh, not quite enough blessing there to ward off any further attacks coming in. We're looking at Nimbus coming up. The Vinny is going to get it. Yeah, the Vinny's got it. He's not quite at full HP, so he might just burn it. Yeah, he's just going to burn it and make sure he is always full. Looking at a 50 on bottom, this could end up turning into something. Nah, the Leon's not going to... Wait, is there a 50 on bottom, or am I just imagining things? I don't know.
It doesn't display on the mini-map, even though they changed it. The mini-map changes don't appear on the replay, except for the replay health bar, so there was health there. Definitely.
But yeah, we are looking at. Oh yeah, I forgot to mention we're looking at base invis being picked up on the Leon now, and now he's just gone back. He's opted for the large tongue damage, and then he's got the second City of Silence. So the Leon has just straight in maxed that tongue. Again, he's in a low position. Oh, that's a great cocoon.
And that was going to be going down. What a great counter initiation. That was a great reaction speed we saw coming out from Shaw. He saw this bite dive coming, and not only did he hit the Monarch Blessing that saved his life, 100% that was a kill if not for that, he also landed the cocoon at the end of the bite dive trajectory, completely setting up Luco for the easiest frag of his life, and Vinny just got erased. That was excellent.
Yeah, that was brilliantly played. The Genji was low. Not sure whether it was intentional, but
this one going in on Spade, and the explodes can not be a whip, and he doesn't get the bite, and that was a kill if he got the bite, but because he didn't get the bite, the tongue counter initiation is going to turn an easy 1 for nothing for Clunk into an easy 1 for nothing for Leon. Oh man, that's got to feel so bad because he played it so perfectly until he just didn't proc bite. I guess he thought he didn't need it, but I don't know what was up with that.
Yeah, I think the Leon ran away just a little bit too fast, and he was perhaps concentrating on landing like the double salvo, making sure it was the right missile, and just trying to maximize all his damage, but in the end he ended up back not too far. Oh, that's a lot of damage onto the Genji and onto the Leon, both of them leaving with very, very low HP. Leon going to drop a clone.
Oh, this explode. Probably going to hit the droids. He's probably going to get punched by a spike dive here. Not yet, maybe. He's staying it really long. Okay, he's out. Genji is going to go ahead and spend 500 solar. We're going to see him max out Targex, pick up DOT, and get up a stage of slow on Cocoon. How good is slow on Cocoon here? Is that what he should be opting for?
Slow on Cocoon is a fantastic upgrade, although it might not be necessary because if there ever is a cocoon, you're gonna have the Clunk backing you up with that, and the Clunk has already opted for a stage of Snare Bite. One thing is going to help. It's going to help the Leon if he ever goes into this. It's a nice bit of tracking that you've got that nice purple glow of slow onto Leon, and the slow value on Cocoon is insane. You can get it up to 40%, which is a ridiculous slowing value. Throw in the fact that they're already going to lose about a third of their HP from the Jagger. But here comes the damage onto the Clunk. The Clunk is just about going to get away. Genji brawling quite efficiently. Here comes the dive from Vinny, but the Clunk's going to go in, but it's not going to be enough. The dive from Vinny was enough to take out the Genji. Well played from Team Dave there, spreading the HP around, taking their time with that fight, and making sure they landed their abilities.
Yeah, that missed cocoon cost Shaw his life. That's another situation where they made that ability connect. Lugo going to be going down there, just really overstaying his welcome there. That's going to be a wipeout in favor of the blue team, and they are going to continue pushing in the first back turret cracked on the top lane. Well, not quite cracked, but still taking several bars off. Might be cracked by the time those shorts go away. It's something that they got to be more careful about. And they've had, not only did he overstay on that drive, oh, there's the silence gank right there. Body blocks him in front of the turret. That's the double invis I was talking about right there. Just completely erased Genji before he realized what was happening. By the time he could even realize he needed to start getting out of the way, Spade was already body blocking him from his own turret. What was savage?
Okay, this is scary for Aggro Master Race right now. We're looking at Vinny picking up the dead Seahorse head and throwing boots in there as well. So now he has an absolute max damage dash and throwing this with a almost, well, kind of 50% max damage tongue. With the range, that can kill the Genji straight up, maybe even through Blessing. And here we go, we see it there, the second dive not going to land. There's the Blessing, here's the Cocoon onto the Vinny. The Vinny doesn't have dive, and that's going to be enough to take out the Vinny. Very nice placement with the Bite and the Explode. The Leon's still in, he's going to look for something, but he just doesn't have the damage to deal with his Clunk. The Clunk's going to be able to sustain it up just by biting droids. Dave is going to clear the bottom lane, try and do something. But
they found him! Oh, he's going out though. Alright, now hopefully they start pushing this. They got Spade incredibly low. The clone's going to quickly get out. They have to bite. He does not have fragmenting shells, so we won't be able to hit him. Spade with his auto attack. Still, the bite does significant damage here. Shell continuing droids to try and just stay healthy. Finds a health spike on bottom too. A little bonus. And they're just going to go to top lane. Look at once they do commit to the turret, it's like you said, they do get immense push. I'd like to see them commit more often like they are now, even though they know the threat of Ubi and Spade is both fully alive. And now they're actually really starting to get some map control going. This is the first time in either match where I've really seen Ubi and Spade kind of push back. But knowing these guys, they're going to look for the first opportunity they can. Like they can right now, they find the tongue. He has a very convenient health back. They won't always be there. The Cloud is going to hesitate to push, but Luco is still able to get a missile off onto the turret. Take another little half bar. Progress.
Yep, turret damage is permanent. You get it where you can. Leon's build is quite interesting. He's opted for the lifesteal. He's got the regen now, so now he's kind of seeing the items that they kind of went for the last game. The ability to just always stay in lane, always be putting pressure on. And if the Leon opts for a clone build later on, that's the immense damage coming out from the tongue and the double dive there. Both ticks of the dive hitting, the tongue hitting. Wasn't quite enough to kill the Clunk, but a second initiate could be. The Clunk very low. He takes another dive. He's going to try and teleport out. It looks like he made it out. Yep, he made it out. Ubi predicting the wrong side the Clunk was going to teleport on. And yeah, that was a great escape coming from Luco there.
Indeed, and I also love it's so fun watching him being clear because he just kind of plops on droids and they disappear. Even though it doesn't really take them longer than say Leon, it's funner to watch him clear just because I like to see the droids literally disappear out of nowhere. I always think that stuff looks super entertaining. Nice cocoon coming out here. Luco's trying to get position. He finds the snare. That's going to be a kill. The Explode is going to hit on both of them. Now Spade's in kind of rough position. He needs to make sure he does everything. Nice bite. He might get tongue back in, but nah. Because of that nice bite, he knows he can't do that to Luco, or otherwise he might have considered it. And
this could be interesting.
Round number 2. He did exactly what he did last time, but this time he hit the bite. He learned from his mistakes. That's going to be a chat. What is that? Double kill in favor of Aggro Master Race. Now they are going to be taking this top turret. Luco needs to be pushing harder right now. I guess they're going to go ahead and go to the bottom. Oh yeah, the droids are going to finish that. They might be able to finish this off. I don't know if Ubi will be able to contest this. Yeah, they're taking it.
They've got this.
Should.
Or if they don't have it now, they've got it the next time they talk it. Yeah, the tower's gone. So yeah, that was a very big momentum swing in favor of Team Aggro Master Race. Although we're seeing a lot of damage on the Leon onto this Genji. He's just chasing him down with his AAs. Great tracking. The Exploder and the Bite are going to whiff. This is the prime time for Team Dave to look for something. And I think they know exactly that. The Genji's just gone to spend. They're going to look to get something on his bottom lane, but the Clunk is just very carefully staying by his tower, making sure there's no way he can get engaged on. And if he does get engaged on, he's got the support of the Super Droid, he's got an Explode and a Bite ready. We're looking at the Clunk going to spend about 400 solar here. It'll be interesting to see what he gets, because these upgrades for the Clunk are very, very vital at this stage of the game. And we're looking at Pills, second stage of Power Converter, and one stage of Barrier Mag. So opting for these tanky options, just to make sure he can't get bursted down. What do you think about that, Pillar? Oh, we've seen the Clunk in a bad spot here. He's taking a lot of damage. The Exploder's going to land.
Ooh, the Moon Nectar. Ubi's done. He has to be the slowest there. He's able to get the track. There's the last auto attack. That's going to should be taking him down to the DOT. I really like how the Moon Nectar is going to let them follow up on almost anything. On a couple like this, they're getting to a point where they're gonna have a lot of sustain. You have the already increased sustain on Bite plus the space sustain. Genji gets around 350 or so health from Jarred Eggs alone. Plus, Moon Nectar can generate around 600 health for them to share. He can also get health from Monarch Blessing. If you get Spiritual Cooking, the momentum swings. They're starting to let a Genji Clunk combo snowball. Is what's happening. That is absolutely terrifying, especially for a right-click comp where they kind of just go in once, do a lot of damage, and get out. Leon can kind of chase with his auto attack, but like he either can or he can't. And the more he lets the enemy team snowball, the more times it's going to be a situation where he can't chase them with his auto attack.
Yeah, I mean, we're seeing here fragmented shells in the Clunk as well, which he did pick up a little bit ago. Well, the tongue's going to whiff. And the Genji Clunk, they're just sitting here, and they're just getting pushing because they can. Although, as we said, as I kind of touched on at the beginning of the game about forcing them to rotate, what they aren't doing very efficiently is clearing both lanes and making sure they're pushed up. They always seem to leave one lane left clear, and that's kind of a natural disadvantage of having such a low mobility comp. And I think one thing Team Dave can really consider is just backdooring creeps with this Leon. And just forcing them to, Benny Hill around the map, trying to find the Leon, whilst the Leon just continues to take away the push before it even starts. So you see him doing it here. It's almost killing that droid wave before it even gets anywhere near the droids of Team Dave. Well, a lot of burst onto Genji, but the Genji just so much shielding. He's able to live through almost all of it.
Yeah, it's just you see the barrier magazine, all this. I'm trying to figure out. I think that Spade and Vinny need to start to figure out ways where they can endure the entire team fight and then go in to punish them while they're on cooldown. That's easier said than done, though. I would really like to see Pills coming out. We need to see that Weaken Cloud, I think, coming out. Possibly even Sustain Cloud. And I'd like to see Spade and Ubi to start to build toward in a way where they can go back in after a Monarch Blessing, Cocoon, and Explode are done with. Because currently, if they connect those abilities, they're probably going to die. But even if they don't die, they'll be in no position to go back. So I'm going to take a very painful Spite dive and go ahead and consume his health resources. And now we have Luco and Ubi are going to just be kind of staring at each other. There's the tongue. There's the very deadly Spike dive. That's the combo that they needed. They needed to. That was insane. That was actually really
brutal. Insane. Yeah. Although we are seeing everyone's favorite upgrade on Genji, we're seeing Devil's Spiritual Cooking being picked up, and that's going to make what they just did there that much harder. We're seeing a nice double explode. It's going to land on the Leon and on the Vinny. The Leon's just going to get melted straight away in front of that tower, and the Vinny's going to get away half HP. That was very, very well played from Luco, and nice knowledge to know that, Team Dave, they were committing everything to that tower, and they just weren't in a position to take and explode there.
Indeed, very back and forth gameplay at this point. But we keep saying it, the back and forth is favoring Aggro Master Race more than it is Dave at this point. Spiritual Cooking is really something that's really going to spin them. And then we actually see BKM coming out on Genji. Not good, because their whole strategy, there's a Cocoon right there. I was just about to say, is he actually going to live through this? Oh my god.
We are seeing an Invis Clunk. Oh, there's the A! Brilliantly played from Luco.
Oh my god.
That's nice knowledge, just knowing, he got the invis, he knew where Spade was going to run. Here comes the explode!
Oh, man.
He's low! Oh, we're looking at
the
Luco
double
just
pills
pushing.
is really doing some work here, I gotta say.
Yeah, double pills and barrier mag, although it does tick me off slightly that he went for double pills before going for barrier mag, because, inefficiencies, because barrier mag's more cost effective, but, put that aside, it's still a very nice build. And we're seeing a lot of bursts going into Clunk, he's exposed here, he's going for the bite and the explode, he turns, there's the blessing being popped, it's just not enough to kill the Clunk, they don't have enough follow-up, although Ubi is looking for it, he uses the dash now just to get away, but they weren't able to find the kill they needed there. Luco is going to go back. I really think what Team Dave need to do, they need to just stop focusing on these team fights and just turn Leon into a backdoor clearing nightmare for Team Aggro Master Race to deal with. Just don't fight them, just clear their droids before they even get anywhere near to their towers, and just make them have to chase Spade around the map, waste their time. If they can find a pickup from the Genji when he's out of position, that's exactly what they need to do, but at the moment, these team fights are just not going in their favor. Genji Clunk is just too much of a powerful combo.
One thing about the builds I want to mention, they might go in after this Monarch Blessing, but then again, they don't have the Cloud, which isn't extremely important. Nothing really, they might go in now. They want it. They want the opportunity.
Oh, here's the Cocoon. That's a dead Spade.
Oh my god, I didn't have the camera on that, and then I brought it back over, and I just instantly saw him just like Cocoon explode dead. Leon can no longer kind of poke tongue on Genji. That BK element is so significant that Genji can typically get a Cocoon back in time to counter-initiate on tongues, and that is really going to be messing with Spade's tongue game right now. Like, now they're going to go ahead and be pushing that top turret, and as you said, they just kind of take it right away. They go with it knowing that Ubi can't really do anything, and they have control of the invis, which is really scary for their comp. Spade and Ubi going in really fast. Wow, a lot of damage coming out onto Luco. You're gonna have to let him go. He has so much health.
Well.
Earlier, you mentioned that the pills before Barrier Magazine wasn't that cost efficient. I think you're forgetting the synergy with spiritual cooking, which is actually an enormous health boost and actually makes it so that he got out of that both abilities and several auto attacks of the blue team with 1/4 of his health. That's incredibly tanky. Ubi gonna go ahead and get back. Dodge the Cocoon. Slightly bad situation, not really. Gonna go ahead and spike dive him, hits them both. Not much else can come of it. How do you think the next frag is gonna go down? Look, you sound like you have something to say.
Yeah, I mean, getting into semantics, Barrier Mags also synergizes with spiritual cooking because it applies to the extra health you get from spiritual cooking as well. So it's not that's not a factor. Barrier Mag is 100% better than spiritual cooking in this instance.
I think
better than pills. But the next kill, it's either gonna come from Dave and Ubi going for an initiate, and it's either going to go well and they get a kill, or it's going to go bad and they get killed by a Cocoon. Like that is how this happens. And at the moment, the Footsie, I think Dave are playing it wrong at the moment. They're trying to find pokes onto the enemy team. What they should really be doing is just backdooring the creep wave, because as I said, what Aggro Master Race need to do, they need to sit on a creep wave and just get it to the tower. But if Dave can backdoor the creep waves before they get the chance to sit on them, that's where they're going to be in a good position. Nice amount of damage coming out on the Clunk, but the Clunk sustain is just too much at the moment. The Spade's getting really, really ballsy, really close to this Genji Clunk, and it's dangerous. If he gets hit by the snare bite, he's probably dead. If he gets hit by the Cocoon, he's definitely dead. So they're playing a very risky game right now. Oh, the bite's going to whiff. This might be the opportunity they're looking for.
They definitely know. Aggro Master Race knew that it was the opportunity that Dave needed, and Luco gonna get tongued in anyways. He has no more Monarch Blessing, but the Cocoon is ready. He's gonna go in. He has the explode. He has the Moon Nectar. So Spike Dive is the Moon Nectar is so far saving him. He tries to get the bite, but the bite is a whip. Ubi is finally getting into the killing spree of Luco. It's a 1v2 scenario for the Genji. Spade is they're ready. They are tanking this turret. They are not waiting on droids. They're pushing up lanes. He's gonna get Cocoon. Nothing that he can really do to follow up on it. And now, finally, the break that Dave has needed. Can this be the big moment? Like, will they be able to capitalize this and make it into a streak? Or is this
they're going to get a lot of push in. The Clunk hasn't quite dropped yet. If they really want to, they should really commit to a lot of push now, but it looks like they've picked for the invis. They're going to look for another kill. If they can get another kill, they're going to get a huge momentum swing in. Here's the tongue. They're going for the damage onto the Genji.
Oh, no! But the explode is a whiff, and they're using the Nectar staying. Dave is going to get body blocked in front of the turret. Spade in a really bad situation. He's going to do a little bit more damage to the Clunk and run out. Oh my god, that Genji surviving was the worst thing that could have happened. Oh, man.
that was a huge moment in this game. If the Genji had died there, it would have been just the Clunk defending, and the Clunk, although he definitely can get the kills, he can be poked out. He doesn't have the Genji for support. He doesn't have the blessing when the enemy team goes in on them. And if you bait out one ability on the Clunk, then you can go in hard, and that's what they would have done. They would have just pushed, waited for him to use Bite, and then gone in. We are seeing Clunk opting for medical pump, so we are seeing the full HP Clunk coming out. He's got both sides of Snare Bite, which is very, very scary for this Leon. The Leon can't get BKM anymore. In fact, neither members of Team Dave can get BKM. Ubi's going to get killed by the combo there. That was I believe that was a cocoon into everything. Was it? I wasn't quite paying attention, but yes, he died.
This is really just the amount of damage they can take. One thing I want to point out, if we look at the Monarch Blessing rep for Genji, he's picked up Bronco Yeast. This is the flat damage reduction for every attack procced on someone that is currently Monarch Blessed. Why might he be getting that over Hill or Hidden Leads?
Well, I think the idea behind that is that you use it to push towers because it effectively halves the damage that towers do to you, and you can push insanely hard with that. But also, you have to think that there's kind of two aspects to Team Dave getting a kill right now. They do the burst, and then they have to land 3, 4, 5 seconds of sustained damage after that, and the sustained damage is coming in the form of AAs from Leon, AAs from Vinny, which are quite fast attack speed things, and using the Bronco Yeast to apply to multiple ticks of that.
All the abilities got whipped by Luco when he actually goes in with a spike dive to punish, but Luco just has so much health. He just takes both abilities, and he's already back at half. He takes 2 spike dives and a tongue. He is still hanging out in lane at 50% HP. That is enormous.
I think this is still a good fight for Team Dave, though. The clunky. Oh my god, that was amazing.
I don't know.
That was incredible from Luco.
That was a just classic drop explode from Clunk, and he gets out and just picks up a very nice and clean looking frag. And now that's going to be Genji pushing up. He is by himself, but Spade's not really in position to contest this. I'm going to take a look over at the damage graph. Oh, my thing wants to work, right? And actually, extraordinarily enough, for the good first half of the game, the blue team was actually dealing more damage than the red team until recently, where the red team's damage is just spiked enormously, and blue team's damage is just kind of flatlined. It actually,
yeah, and that kind of damage flatline has definitely that came as we saw the kills from Team Red is just spiked up as well. Recently, they've been landing so many of the cocoons, and it's mostly coming from when Team Dave, they go in for the initiate, it's not as clean as they need it to be, and then one of them gets punished for it. But we are seeing Dave do exactly what I said they should be doing. They're backdooring creeps, they're staying away, they're making sure they're not playing into the hands of Team Aggro Master Race, and they're doing it perfectly. They're just backdooring, keeping the enemy pressured where they aren't, and they're forcing the rotations out from Team Aggro Master Race. I honestly, even in a perfect team fight, if they get the absolute perfect initiate, I don't think Dave can get a kill right now. Even on the Genji, I just don't think it could happen.
It's definitely not looking good. We actually see clones being picked up by Leon. Might they go for some shenanigans and just try and do some cheese to make some progress here without getting a kill to set it up?
It's the only thing Dave can really do. All they can do now is backdoor creeps and then hope that there's a massive team fight with from the half of Aggro Master Race. Aggro Master Race, they get impatient, they go for a team fight, and they mess it up like we saw Dave do early, and then they can capitalize on it. If they see that Blessing is used, Cocoon's used, and maybe even Bite's used, there's just an Explode, and dealing with just an Explode is fine. They have enough health to deal with that, and that's when they can go in, find a kill on the Genji, find a kill on the flank, and then pressure really, really hard. But until that happens, they just need to backdoor and just make sure the push doesn't happen on, make sure all the droids are dead before they reach their side of the map. Well, that's a huge team fight happening right now. It's a lot of damage onto them, but the sustain from the red team is just insane right now. Dash is going to whiff on the Clunk just getting away with half HP, and Clunk at half HP has a health bar the size of the Leon at full HP. This is pretty funny.
Yeah, and I'm trying to think what they could do. There's a Whip Cocoon and a Spike Dive, but it's even when they land their abilities and everything hits, it's like they can't even commit because that threat of Clunk is just so much. The amount of at this point, it's become less and less of a game of what Spade and Ubi can do, and more of a game of how Luco can mess up. And he's not messing up as he picks up another frag, just clean and simple, walking into Vinny without fear of retaliation. That's, just another pickoff like that is not what Dave needed right now. And the potential is already just so hard to swing the other way, but like it's getting more and more sensitive. It's just another nail in the coffin at this point. Spade is gonna have a lot of trouble defending this. We're gonna see a lot of damage go out on this tower. Clone just being more sustained for Luco at this point than it is the turret. He's gonna get tongued back into a turret shooting, and we still have health. Like, what are Ubi and Spade supposed to do at this point?
As I said, they can't take a team fight. They need to find. They need to just pressure Aggro Master Race in other ways, and that is going to involve, doing these dirty strats by just backdooring all the droids. But I don't think they have much of I don't think their other options are that good, really.
Well, the thing is, even without droids, while they're doing that, Clunk can go like,
the Cocoon's whiff. This could be the opportunity.
Are they going to go for it? Oh, nah.
No.
We're
in team fight purgatory. Are they going to go for it? Are they not going to go for it? They are going to go for it. It's a lot of damage onto the Genji. The Exploder is going to whiff. The Blessing is also going to whiff.
If he gets the tongue back, there it is.
There it is. Here comes the tongue as the Clunk. The Clunk is losing a lot of HP. He's still got a bite. There's the bite. He doesn't have his AA now. He's used that. He's going to have Explode ready very soon. Here comes the bite. The bite and the Explode going in. It's not going to be able to kill Spade, although it does land. And now we're looking at Spade and Ubi with a wipe, and they're going to be pushing, and they're going to be pushing hard. Ubi is going to be taking out the droids in the bottom just to make sure, and then Spade is just going to go all in on this top tower.
Oh my god. They actually managed to find the fight. They managed to find the one. The only way they can make that work is if the Aggro Master Race hung out way too long. Not just too long, but way too long. They finally found the fight where they could force Clunk to force a commitment to Clunk that could actually last long enough to kill them. And now the momentum is completely reversed. Genji back in lane. Clunk will still be about 5 or so seconds behind him. He's just picked up the upgrade that they did not want him to pick up. He bought 50 Blueprints container. About how Blueprints container is perhaps the final nail in the coffin here.
Yeah, I mean, if we were saying there's no way Team Dave can team fight, now there is absolutely no way they can team fight. If Clunk throws Explode out, he's going to have a 50% shield on top of a massive shield coming out from the Genji as well. There is no way that this Clunk dies in a traditional team fight. The only way he's going to die is in a kind of extended brawl like we saw there, where he's just caught way out of position, he doesn't have any abilities ready, and then, the sustained damage from the AA of Leon and Vinny are going to come into play there. But outside of that, there is no way this Clunk is ever going to die now. In fact, I'm going to bet that,
But you have some droid chip right here. And it's not going to be much. It's going to be about how far both of them going back.
I don't think this Clunk is ever going to die for the rest of this game, unless it's, defending the base, if that ever happens. I think in any team fight, this Clunk is going to survive through all of it.
And we do have double and Biz. I don't know if they'll be able to make something happen here. Like, what are they going to do? Like Ubi doesn't even spike dive him because he knows it's just like, at this point, like, Ubi's spike dive to Clunk is like an auto attack to any other character. That is the analogy here.
It tickles. It's funny. Yeah, I mean, we're also seeing Clunk building into some nice AA damage. He's getting 2 stages of double missile there. 2 stages of double missile. Is that not just quad missile? Anyway. But yeah, like there's so much here. We might want to think about the Vinny's cloud build, because it's quite interesting. He's gone for side. Oh, and never mind. This is gonna have to wait. Here's a team fight, but the Exploder has whiff. The Blessing is there. This could go either way, really. It looks like Team Dave are gonna disengage, knowing that they can't. But any fight where Team Aggro Master Race, if they don't have all their abilities ready, or especially if they missed the Cocoon, especially if they missed Explode, that's when Team Dave can go in. But if even one of those abilities are up, Clunk is in biz. This is not looking good for Team Dave. Just the mere threat.
Go to their turret and just
the tiny threat of Clunk being invis has just forced Team Dave all the way back to their towers, and they know it. There is nothing they can do to stop this right now.
And we actually see max builds coming out. We don't see that often in competitive Awesomenauts, where even though it's only 4 people here, every single person on both teams has bought every item that they possibly could. extremely pursuing. Yeah, we do have max items we've seen, and it's just insane. And that's a nice snare. And the row that we actually see coming out on the cloud is speed after usage, just
if they pick up on this could be big. We just saw them use explode combo onto a clone, but the whiff tongue means they're not really going to kill the clone. But yeah, like one of the builds I was saying was most. Oh, here comes the explode. The explode is going to use. It's going to do a lot of damage, but Dave is still just about alive, using that speed up size cloud with the sustain to get out. That was what I kind of wanted to touch up on, but now we're looking at the Leon chasing down the Clunk. That's a lot of AA damage. The Clunk is going to go down. Correct me from earlier. Clunk is still able to die. And now the Genji, not in a good spot. The dive's almost there. The dive's
they whipped an ability. Oh, I think it was one of the spike dives of the two, but still, they can now finally go to the base. They need to go now. He's getting that sustain from the cloud. Oh my god, this might be it. What a momentum swing. What a momentum swing.
I don't know, I think the Genji's AA damage is just about enough to hold this. He's very boldly going out.
Bit far too long. If he got tongued back in there, he could actually die. And it's like we said last time, on this sort of defensive situation, if they manage to find that frag, then that is all that's going to matter. And that could actually cost the game right there. Now Ubi needs to get out. Clunk is back in lane. Their base is less than half. I think we might, when we're going to see that bottom turret going down, it looks like, Clunk getting in a position to go ahead and contest it, but not going to catch him in time. Now Genji will be dealing with a lot of droids as Ubi and Spade move up quite a bit. They have to be afraid of backdooring on Aguilon pretty intensely here. I could not tell you how this game goes down. This is actually insane.
Yeah, that upgrade I told you might be purchased at like the 1 minute mark. It's been purchased at like the 35 minute mark. We're looking at cooldown on Explode, which is great for capitalizing on those cocoons. It just means you can do it every single time. And you know, one problem, the one weakness in Aggro Masteros' armor is they are not very mobile and they're not good at clearing creeps across both lanes. And if Team Dave take advantage of this, they can just keep throwing clones through that middle, keep the lanes pressured, and maybe, just maybe, they can just chip away at the base for long enough until Aggro Masteros get a little bit too impatient and whip a team fight. Or, you know, maybe they find a team fight, wipe Dave, and then with the respawn timers this long, it's all over.
Yeah, the next kill, not even double kill, the next 1 for nothing, or possibly even a 1 for 1, depending on which members of which team it is, could easily determine this match.
Yeah, I think if the Leon lives for Team Dave, it might not be over just because the pure threat of the backdoor from that. Exactly. I think in a base race with any of the Nauts here, the Leon is going to win at this point, especially with the base already at half. Like even if it's 2 versus 1. Base racing, the Leon is going to win the base race, so...
The awkward situation where Ubi dying might be exactly what they need. And Ubi might get cocoon, he has to rebuild his presence there. Spike dive is going to come out, the explode's going to be a whip. This might be the fight that they need. They need to get back in there instantly. He needs to get that spike dive in. Shaw is getting out of range. He's safely behind Luco, and I don't think they're going to be able to get any push off this, but they're making sure their pressure stays fast. Basically what Genji and Clunk were looking for there, at even the minimum good result they could have had, it was a kind of a paradigm shift where it's like a bit more even in terms of map control. The best thing, at the very least, Spade and Ubi have managed to maintain the paradigm, which is good because they have the map control, they have the pressure, they have the stealth orb, they have the red team's jungle, and just taking control of these things is the only reason why Shaw is not constantly on the hunt for a cocoon right now. There's a tongue. Ubi knows not to commit to that, especially on the Clunk. They are just playing so carefully. We're hoping to see that I don't know if that Clone got an auto attack off on the base.
I don't think it did, no. But if we did, we would have heard the announcers say, which I have on, enemies attacking the base. But we are looking at droids doing a little bit of chip damage. That was like, you know, a quarter of a bar gone. So that's something. Yeah, I mean, it is really hard for Aggro Masteros to clear both lanes whilst trying to keep the pressure on, you know, and looking for the kill. You know, they can only really do one of them, clear the lanes or look for a kill. So if Team Dave are patient enough, I think they can just chip away at this until Aggro Masteros get a little bit too impatient and get the wrong kind of kill, or you know, go for the wrong kind of team fight. But you know, we saw a clone get 3 or 4 hits in on the base there.
Just kiting.
It's just this is a long game here. Look, we're nearing in on the 40-minute game, which, you know, most 3v3s don't go to 40 minutes, and oh man, it's so close. Any team could win this at this point. Looking at Team Dave, just pressuring. I mean, there's not that much going on at the moment. It's
another couple
as boring as it looks. This is a very, very tense moment for both teams because.
To those who think that this game, that both players are like not really doing anything, and that this, like, imagine actually being one of the players right now. This might be it. The Cocoon counter initiation manages to get it before the silence procs. That's a good prediction. That might have just saved the game. If he had gotten silence and not getting that Cocoon off, they might have been able to predict the Cocoon as it came out silence despite the BKM and actually possibly cause a frag or at least force a more commitment.
Exploding Clone doing work there. Exploding Clone doing some work there, taking off about a quarter of Genji's health, which, you know, at this stage of the game forces him to get some sustain, not stay with a clunk, you know. Team Dave, they've really placed their strengths here because they're not allowing Team Aggro Master Race to stack up. They're not allowing them to group up and have that advantageous play. And, you know, if they do have a backup, group up, they just back away. You know, they don't need to fight right now. They've got exactly what they have the win condition right here.
And it's a whip.
Yeah. I mean, the other bad news is that, like, even if they are able to find a Cocoon...
Here comes the explode. We have an explode. It's going to be going down. Oh, this is not good. Genji needs to get over to Luco now. It's the Leon that's set, not the Vinny. This is a bad situation for Dave. Luco going straight for it.
Invis. Is Aggro Master Race, are they going to get mind gamed? Like,
he's going for the back door. He's going for the back door.
It's going to be a base race. Who's going to win?
Okay, here we go, boys.
I think the Vinny's got it. The Genji's teleporting back. He knows he has to. The base on the right side is 2 bars.
I think Vinny wins
two bars. The Genji's only just hit the bar. It's 1 bar. The Vinny's still attacking. It's gone.
Oh, and your winner is Dave.
Oh, wow. Team Dave. Wow. The clutch play. You know, for a game that was 41 minutes and 22 seconds and only had 24 kills, that was probably the most one of the most exciting games I've ever seen.
That was incredible.
That was tense. That was really tense at the end there. Wow.
Oh, man. Well, I'm going to take a breather on that. Oh, why don't you tell us a little bit? Okay, so the big moment, of course, was at the end. What did both teams do good, and what did they do bad, and what could either of them have done differently?
Well, there were stages of this game. There was the very beginning of the game where we saw Team Dave just dominate. They found the tongue into the dashes. They found lots of early game kills. And, you know, they went ahead. They got some decent pushing. And, you know, they really set off to a great start. But then the game kind of ticked into the early mid-game. And that's when we started to see the Genji clunk. They started to get these cocoons. They started to get the initiates. And, you know, once they were able to just cleanly kill off of a cocoon, that was almost the death row for team fighting for Team Dave for the rest of the game, really. You know, then after that, we saw Aggro Master Race doing exactly what they needed to do. They were using that team fight they had, pressuring, escorting their droids to the towers, and just pushing really hard. And they built into the sustain so they could just keep doing it. You know, eventually it got to the point where Team Dave, they just could not team fight, and that was a huge problem for them. And then, you know, I think it started to dawn on Team Dave that they really couldn't team fight. They realized this at about, you know, the 25-minute mark, and that was when they started to just sneak around, start backdooring everything, and the game just slowly turned into their favor. Of course, they did manage to get picked off a few times, and that was when the momentum shot right back in favor of Aggro Master Race. But then there were also those 2 times where they got a double kill, and that was huge for them because, you know, they were able to just keep going, push really hard. They built into clones at this point, and their tower DPS was insane. You know, when you're maxed out at 42 minutes into the game, it's unreal. You know, you're gonna be able to win. You're gonna be able to take towers naked. You don't even need droids there. So they just exploded forwards once they got those kills, and then it got into those last 5 minutes of the game where it was just, we saw it all fighting in the base area and the jungle area of Team Aggro Master Race, as the clones and the chip was just chipping away at the confidence of Team Aggro Master Race as they just got a little bit too impatient. They went for the fight. They did manage to get the Leon kill, which was the big one, but then the Vinny backed off, grabbed the invis, and then snuck through, got to the base, and then in the base race, the Vinny ended up winning. What a game that was.
It really was. And the fact that Ubi and Spade managed to keep that pressure so consistently, like, that's part of the reason why you won that base race. Well, they didn't do, I guess, that much damage during that time that they pressured, but I guess still defeat. And the fact they might have not been able to, they wouldn't have found that frag
the sort of frag that they got, that 1 for nothing, wouldn't have worked if they... Okay,
let me get my words together. So, as we saw, you know, it was still, even though we said that Vinny dying might, jokingly enough, be what Dave needed, it was the Leon that died anyways. But the fact that they kept that pressure there, that he died there, I think is why they managed to make the base waves win. Because he was able to fall back. We had mentioned earlier that you were controlling the jungle and controlling the stealth orb. The fact that he was able to take that stealth orb without the... Aggro Master Race probably had an intuitive feeling that he had taken it, but they weren't for sure, and they couldn't really waste time. They couldn't control it. They couldn't deny it. The fact that the Vinny was able to make it to their base, it was a purely result of probably the 5-10 minute siege that Spade and Ubi completely held in that jungle there. And say if they were pressured back on their side of the map, they wouldn't have a siege going on. Genji, Clunk would have continued pushing, or at least found a frag, and progression in the match would have been made. But they would have been, even if it was that sort of siege going, and Leon had died like that, I don't think Vinny would have been able to get across them like that without at least being contested. At that point, he is susceptible to a snare, he's susceptible to a cocoon. And so, even though they eventually died as a result of that pressure, that is still the reason that they won. Without that, they would have died.
Yeah, absolutely. And I mean, yeah, what an incredible game. But that was going to be the set between Aggro Master Race and Team Dave. It ended up being 2-0 in favor of Team Dave, and we are going to take a quick break, and then we will come back with with some more sets later for the stream. Is there anything you want to add, Pillow, that I have missed off? Anything that people need to be aware of?
Giveaway in the chat.
Oh yeah, giveaway in the chat. As always, pay attention. And we will be back after this break.